267-495-4866 or DougCarnsProgram@gmail.com. This is the Doug Carns Program here on All Noise Radio, and we're coming through the home stretch here. I was just about to move on with Obama and this GOP race, but as I see this, I don't want to depress anybody right now. Which, I mean, when don't I depress you on this show? The NSA speculates Anonymous could cause power outages with cyber attacks. So, if you're not familiar who Anonymous is, they're this hacker group that cannot be found, cannot be located. They're really good at what they do. First of all, the whole home security thing you have on your computer, you think that's going to protect you from, like, Anonymous? It's not. But you're just lucky they're not targeting you. I love people who think they're the safest with their Norton internet virus protection and McAfee or whatever. That just guards from, like, the very basic. Because if Anonymous can bring down the Department of Justice website, I'm pretty sure they can take down your computer. That's how these guys are very powerful and very scary. And when they make a threat, it's usually a promise. So now it looks like they're threatening our power grids, which apparently they can take offline with a cyber attack. And we cannot combat these guys. Every time they come at us, they succeed every single time. It's a very scary, scary thing. I love the internet, but as much good as it brings, it also brings some very evil stuff. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that as the weeks go on. Hopefully, I mean, you might not have power next week, so you might not be able to listen to the show. But anyways, happy days are here. All right, so let's talk a little Obama real quick. Apparently, Michelle Obama was just in Aspen skiing this past weekend. Now, is this like the 1,000th vacation that the Obamas have taken? Now, listen, the job of being president is a very, very stressful job. If you don't believe that, just look at Obama from day one when he took office and now. I mean, just in 4 years, his hair is gray. He looks even old. He looks 10 years older. Or look at George Bush. Look in 2000 when he came into office, and then look at 2008 when he left. He looks like a frail man compared to when he came into office. I know it's a stressful job, but there's got to be some kind of integrity going on here. You act so sympathetic with the middle class that you're trying to help them, but then you take these outlandish vacations to Spain, Hawaii, Aspen. I mean, just the money spent alone on your security is probably 100 times more than the average American salary per year. So just for one trip, it's costing us in the six-figure range just to keep you protected, which we should keep you protected. But you know what? Don't go on vacations. Do a staycation at the White House. And everybody, remember when the press used to harp on George W. Bush of all the evil vacations he took? That evil George Bush. How dare him? I mean, he took vacations mostly to his ranch in Texas and to Camp David. Camp David. His headquarters for the, where he, could do his job. It wasn't on the beaches of Hawaii or Spain. Camp David. Like, the media is so, you can just see the bias when it comes to this right here, right? How many times did you see a complaint about Obama and his first family and the vacations they've taken? Now, you can't tell me you do not remember when the press harped on the Bushes for their vacations. And again, go back and look. Almost all of them were back to his ranch at his home, not Hawaii, home, or to Camp David, which is a government site. This guy is spending money, and then he comes out and he's so sympathetic. I feel so bad for the middle class and the poor people. I just want to help you. Hold on, let me just... this is good. This French champagne. This $3,000 bottle of French champagne. It's so good. It's just ridiculous. Just how can you sleep at night? I know I would not be able to sleep at night if I'm taking these crazy vacations when people are struggling. I mean, the unemployment rate is now up this week to 9%. How do you get away from all these vacations? George Bush had 4% unemployment at one point. He had 4%, and he was getting ripped on for all these vacations and the money was spent. To his home. Just from the travel and to keep him protected at his home. Where's the media? What are they doing? Are you paying attention to this? Do you see the bias that goes on? Again, tell me how many times they harp on George W. Bush and his vacations. And they don't say one word about the Obamas. These guys, I'm sorry, the Democrats and the left have the media. This guy doesn't even get a hard question when he has a press conference. Doesn't even get a hard question. And even if he gets a tiny hard question, they don't even do a follow-up. He'll say an answer and then they won't even follow up with it to get him on a lie or whatever. They just let it go. Because they know if they get the nice treatment from the president, they can stay in their cushy jobs. But how do you sleep at night? Honestly, you take all these vacations, and then you come out and act so sympathetic. I feel so bad for you people. It's ludicrous. It really is ludicrous. And this is why I hope Rick Santorum. I mean, the last time we talked, Rick Santorum was at the bottom of the barrel. You know, behind Newt Gingrich, Ron Paul, and Romney. And now look at him. He's won Iowa, Missouri, Minnesota. Montana, and Colorado. I mean, he swept in that one night. He creamed everybody because he's actually a good, decent guy. I don't believe what Romney says, and I certainly don't believe what Paul says. Sometimes I agree with his economic policies, but he's put so much pork into his district that I can't believe that he's going to be very fiscal if he's president, fiscally responsible. Excuse me. So, Rick Santorum, I really hope he gets elected because we'll see what comes to it, but this needs to start. We need a good character in office, a guy who genuinely cares and is honest with us. Says, hey, listen, this is going down the crapper. We need to fix it, and we need to fix it fast, or we're all going down with it. And no more of these vacations. Take a staycation. Like I said, I know the presidency is a very stressful job. Being the president, you have so much to worry about. You're getting briefed every day on defense. You're getting briefed on what's going on domestically. You're getting briefed what's going on in the world. And you have all this stress. So I understand it's a very stressful job, but you know what? I'm sorry. Take a staycation, relax, lay in bed all day. That's how you should cope with it. Not going to Hawaii and the beaches, swimming in the ocean, and costing the taxpayers tons and tons of money when unemployment at 9%. People are struggling out there, and they can't go to Hawaii. So why should if I was president, I'm sorry, I would not be able to sleep at night. I really wouldn't. Knowing that almost 1 out of 10 people in this country have no job and are on a very limited income. And they're stuck on entitlements in this country. I really don't know how he does it. Well, I guess we have something to thank him for, though. Apparently, from the Blaze is reporting, electronic benefits transfer, EBT, which is like food stamps, cards have essentially replaced traditional food stamps in many states. While intended to aid the needy for food and basic needs, the NBC New York I-Team discovered that among more than 7 million ATM withdrawals using EBT cards, more than $95,000 was withdrawn in Atlantic City over the last 2 years, including from ATMs in casinos, and thousands were withdrawn from liquor stores and strip clubs in New York. My God, if this is not a sign of having to get the government, the federal government, out of the entitlement programs, I mean, just this alone. How are they getting away with using EBT cards to gamble? First of all, these people sicken me because there's actually people that need this stuff. and they're using their food stamps to go gamble at casinos? How dare them? And really, and this, again, this is what I say, a big government can't control this. A huge government cannot control this. Food stamps and all these other programs should be at least at the local level, at the very much at state level, nowhere near the federal level, because the federal government can't control this. People are going to get their goodies at strip clubs, buying liquor, and gambling with their EBT cards. That's not what they're meant for. They're meant to survive on food and water, the bare necessities. The article goes on, a ban on EBT card withdrawals from ATMs in casinos, liquor stores, and strip clubs was included in the payroll tax cut bill, which passed in the House and is waiting for President Obama's signature. MSNBC New York notes that the measure of the bill regarding EBT card withdrawals was opposed by some Democrats. What stops people from going to Whole Foods and using their EBT card there and then going to the casino? Nothing, said Representative Gwen Moore during congressional debate before the bill was passing. So I'm glad they're actually doing something about it. But how long do you think this has been going on for until they actually realized what was happening? It is a total waste of money, waste of resources, and just another reason why the federal government is so inefficient. Is anybody paying attention to this stuff? This goes back to what I talked about in the beginning of the show. You have to pay attention. This stuff won't, just reading that article might get you annoyed, but whose fault is it? We're supposed to govern ourselves. Our founder said the self-governed need to govern for themselves. It's just so easy. It's that simple. We elect representatives to represent us, and then if they don't do a good enough job, they don't do what's right for this country, we take them out. But you can't do that if you don't pay attention. Just stand up. Listen a little bit. Read. I was an idiot 5-6 years ago. I seriously thought I believed in nothing. I didn't learn for myself. I didn't educate myself. And I believed lie after lie after lie. Until actually I started reading something. Oh, whoa. That's not what I believe. That doesn't make sense. It comes down to paying attention. And God forbid this country falls and you start, all of a sudden you put your hands up and you shrug and go, what happened? I don't know what happened. Well, it's all on you, buddy. At least I'm doing my part to try to pay attention. I write into Senator Casey and Senator Toomey. I write to my representative. I mean, there's only so much I can do. Fitzpatrick's not going to keep listening to me. And I know Toomey hasn't gotten back to me, and Casey hasn't gotten back to me. But you know what? I'm just trying to do what I can do. But if there's enough of us, I'm just one person. If there was enough of us, we can make a difference. And it all starts from just paying attention and finding out for yourself. So to close out the show, it goes back to what I said. Just ask one simple question. It's 3 letters. You put them together. Just ask why. If something's happening in the news, ask why. Just ask why. All right. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week at 7 p.m. on All Noise Radio.